Hello everyone, today our group will present the Black Swan event by Cotton On. Our members are Xuanli, Xiaochen Yi, Na Wang, and Yao Feng and Junyan. We are going to talk about the Black Swan event from 5 aspects, namely introduction, Black Swan event, response strategies, implications, recommendations, and conclusion. Next, please. Firstly, Cotton On Group is Australia's largest global retailer, known for its fashion, clothing, and stationery brands. It has over 1,500 stores in 18 countries and employs 22,000 workers globally. It currently operates 8 brands. Next, please. Secondly, there is no doubt that the coronavirus in 2020 has become the most important Black Swan incident affecting Cotton On, and it has caused serious consequences for the entire retail industry. At the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, demand for cotton plummeted. Historically, a large decrease in global cotton demand occurs during downturns in economic activity. If individual income decreases, new clothes purchases are one of the easiest consumer outlets to reasons. During COVID-19, the extreme lockdown measures imposed by governments around the world resulted in the closure of cotton ginning facilities. This meant that cotton sold ahead of the pandemic could no longer be shipped. As a result of both these economic and logistical factors impacting demand, cotton futures decreased 30% in price between February and early April. Prices of near-dated cotton also sold off more than prices of longer-dated cotton, giving warehouse economic incentive to store cotton and carry it forward to a period in which demand might be higher. As for the impact, the Cotton On group of clothing brands has closed 600 stores, seeking 22,000 workers, and Cotton On also decided to fire all assistant store managers in California due to COVID-19, which will greatly affect Cotton On's operating costs and sales performance. Next part.
Well, the Cotton On has generally reopened its stores after a 3-month lockdown, and it has taken a number of the measures to ensure healthy and safety environment for their customers. And for example, the first one is the retail store operation safety strategy. The second one is the penetration pricing and the bundled pricing strategy. Next. The first one is the retail store operation safety strategy. For the first, the online store is keeping open and delivering. The Cotton On do contactless delivery and free return anytime for their customer. The second is the safe social distance. They ask people to stay 2 meters away from others, and it may restrict access to the store in order to limit the number of the people. The third one is the replacement of the in-store purchase. They unlimited the return and exchange policy. It means that as long as the product is in a new condition and labeled, and the customer have to proof of the purchase. The third one, the next one is the customer are not allowed to try on shoes and the sunglasses. The final one is keeping clean. They clean the high-touch surface regularly. It includes tables, handles, cutters, and machine. Next. The second strategy is the penetration pricing and the bundled price strategy. Will Cotton On set itself up to use the penetration price strategy. With the COVID-19 drive, the retail sales are shaking, and the more research and development product quantity has improved to meet the need of today's customers. In addition, they use a variety of the price method. In terms of the physical pricing, the previous $50 was priced at the $49.9. It provides an emotion hint that the product costs $40 instead of the $50. The same applied to the top price at the $19.95. Emotionally makes the customers think that the products are more cheaper than they were before COVID-19. While in addition, the core product sold by the content on are priced in bundled. It also avoids the customers to buy more goods in a greater quantity. For example, a shirt maybe cost $19.95, but in the handle price, the same shirt can give the customer two of them for the $30. And this will save them $19.90. So the customer tend to get two pieces rather than one. Finally, content on will promote price during the certain season. Because this common strategy are very important and developed on the how management approach promotion, and the promotions can lend the more sales. And I think it's to be more better response to the Black Swing event for the content on. Next part.
Well, there are 5 resources and capability implications and 3 difficulties that I want to introduce. The first one is relatively strong economic capability. According to the data that we searched, it posts revenue of $789.5 million for fiscal 2018-19, up from $742.75 million in 2018. And due to content on accounts for the largest global retailer in Australia, compared with other shops in the sand industry, it has the strength to go through the lockdown in Australia. The second one is that it has developed corresponding strategies in a timely manner to increase revenues and reduce unnecessary cost. For example, it reopened the offline store in accordance with federal government guidelines and lay off some employees to reduce expenses. The third one is that its early investments in e-commerce allowed it to reduce losses during the outbreak. It began to do e-commerce in 2011. Online store operations has been a period of development. According to the statistics, its global e-commerce net sales in 2020 was $141.8 million. In addition, it has set up a fund company that supports disadvantaged communities for the past 13 years through the foundation's unique fundraising model. During the outbreak, it also made many contributions, such as working with United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund to help deliver 1 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. It is its CSR policy that increases brand impact and increases customer stickiness and loyalty. The final point is that from the supply chain point of view, content on sales strategy is more mature than the sand industry. Marketing discount strength is also greater than the sand industry company. The main reason is that its cost price can be lower than the others. The internal reason is that as a retailer, it is more powerful to suppliers. Both of them can get the best interest. So the cost of content on is relatively lower than the sand industry fund, which means more advantages of price war. And I also want to talk about the difficulties for content on to implement these strategies. The first one is that when content on reopen its own offline store, it have to hire this infection staff to do the disinfection work developed by the federal government, and it definitely increased the cost of company. And re-establish sales pricing strategies will also increase the department labor costs. Moreover, because of the guidelines of the federal government, keeping safety distance leads to a significant decrease in in-store traffic over the same periods of time, and the immediate consequence of it is a decrease in sales. Next part.
In terms of strategy leadership implementation, the COVID pandemic has accelerated the landing and sinking of the new retail. The decision task of content on TMT teams can further promote the integration and modernization of supply chain to adapt the new consumption pattern. After the Black Swan event, the core profitability of retail is that consumer access and transformation. Supply chain capability and operational efficiency become the core of competition among retail interpretations. With the development and the iteration of business formats accelerated, the industry will undergo a large reshuffle. Content on board team decided that in terms of front-end marketing, it can expand the touch point with consumer and establish a sales platform that can reach consumer in any channel and any point. Through such point, it can collect data, draw user purchase, and carry out prices service. Second, in the back end, enterprises are required to carry out the reform of supply chain management. In the future, content on team will carry out supply chain management more through big data. Meanwhile, the ultimate purpose of flexible transformation of manufacturing supply chain is to achieve the consistency of customer experience and be less affected by uncertainty crises such as this Black Swan event, COVID-19. Next, please.
Well, I will talk about the recommendation first. With the digitalization of the retail industry, Content should actively transform and strengthen its digital construction. During the epidemic period, most of the need of the user can be met through the internet. With the integration of online and offline, the diversification of consumer purchase channel and the further fragments of retail scenes and traffic entrance, this change has further reduced the importance of brick-and-mortar stores. As the consumers interact with the retail stores through online media channels, stores can quickly transform their responsibility and provide in-depth customer service. Among them, the staff of stores should learn to provide full service and marketing, especially in the location-based community connection. Is likely to become an important way to bring goods to the neighborhood. In the future, new large-scale retail may shift to the customers to service platform to business mode. In this mode, supply chain management platform is for a new system, and the source of goods is of the manufacturer. This requires Cotton On to have the strong digital capability and the supply chain management capability to meet the growth of the consumer demand. And we will talk about the conclusion. Well, in conclusion, the company's leadership strategy during the epidemic was successful, especially in COVID-19 in such a serious time, and it's prevented the losses in a timely manner. At the same time, it has made a major reform in other areas such as supply chain reforms and the online sales and service system. The company should continue to maintain its existing advantage, further promote new reforms, while diversify risks and mitigating the impact of uncertain risk is also important.